Hi folks, welcome to Angular Testing Inside Out. In this course we'll see how to unit test all of the main ingredients of an Angular app, including controllers, directives, filters, services and components. We'll see how to write tests using the popular Jasmine and Sinon, and we'll see how to run our tests from the command line, saving us time and effort. We'll also see how we can write end-to-end tests using Protractor, which automates the driving of a browser to test the user interface. In the next lesson, we'll get started and see how to unit test controllers. We'll see how to create a new scope and how to create the controller and associate it with a scope. We'll then move on to look at how we test directives. It's important to understand the process of testing an Angular directive, which involves not only creating a scope, but also creating an HTML element for the directive to be added to. Next, we'll see how to test services. Angular services are easier to test than some other Angular components such as controllers, but still different than unit testing regular JavaScript applications. There are still certain things that we need to do, like initialize any modules used by our app and inject any dependencies of the service we want to test. Following this, we'll look at how to test filters. Filters in Angular are often smaller and simpler than other Angular constructs like controllers or directives. But just like these other parts that make up an Angular application, filters can and should be unit tested to ensure they function as intended. To close the unit tests section, we'll move on to look at testing Angular components. Components are a fairly new addition to the Angular framework, having been released in the 1.5 version. But just like the other Angular constructs like controllers and directives, Angular components are very easy to test. In the last lesson, we'll look at end-to-end testing. We'll see which NPM modules we need to install and how Protractor should be configured to use Cucumber as a framework. We'll also take a look at a Gherkin feature file and see how to implement the feature in a test. This course is a combination of earlier coffee break courses. My name is Dan Wellman. Let's get started.